Hello. We will be now taking up few word problems or few questions on linear equation in two variables. The first one I've already written on the board. It reads, give the equation of two lines passing through 2 and 14. How many more such lines are there and why? Okay. That means if this line which has the coordinate 2 and 14, that means the coordinate has x 2 and y 14. What equation this line might have? I can write it as, suppose x plus y is 16. You can see it is 2 and 14. We have to give first the equation, give the equations of two lines. Okay, one can be x plus y is 16, that satisfies x and y 14. I can also write y is equal to 7 times x, so it's 14 equals to 2 such. Now we were asked to give two equations that we are done with. Now how many more such lines are there and why? We can also write like y minus x is 12, or we simply can write x is y by 7, and we can continue with finding out many more such equations. Move on to one more question which I might write down here. It says Yamini and Fatima, they are two students of class 9 of a school. Together contributed rupees 100 towards the Prime Minister's relief fund. We have to write a linear equation which satisfies this data. Draw the graph of the same also as a part of the question, but I would like to skip that part. I might just draw the because it becomes then difficult, or I can just put it up here and beside the question in rough. It will be a rough sketch kind. I cannot put up the accurate one. Draw the graphs. Now we have to assume the contributions made by Yamini to be, suppose, y. So we write let the contribution made by Yamini to be rupees y, and the contribution, just ignore the spell mistake if any, and the contribution made by Fatima to be rupees f. So what does our equation look like? Whatever the contribution they have made, that is equal to 100. That was a very simple linear equation to be made. Now you have to draw the graph for this. To do so, first make a table which you will be plotting on the graph the coordinates x and y, that is y and f we have taken here. Let's take x-axis as y, Fatima's contribution f in the y-axis. You can write equal contributions. You can write 20-30, or it might just be 30-20. So I guess you can do the plotting on the graph by yourself. This is suppose 0, this may be 25, then 50, then 75, and I extend this that to be 100. Here also we need to do the same. We have to plot 150, 50 somewhat here. This will be a rough, I'm just showing. Then it is 20, 30 will somewhere be here, and then it is 30, 20 will just be here. So it will be a linear graph, a straight line. Once you join them, it will be a straight line graph, which I'm not drawing. We might not be getting a straight line there. Let's move on to another question which I had already written before. It says if the point 3, 4 lies on the graph of the equation 3y equals ax plus 7, find the value of a. When a line is already there for the graph on the graph of the equation that means this coordinate must be satisfying this equation. That means we can substitute the values of x and y which is given on that given equation. So our y we will be, actually let me write the equation. Y as given 4, a x is 3, 7 b 7. So it's 3 4 is 12 equals 3a minus plus 7. So it is 3a equals 5 if I carry 7 to the other side. A now becomes 5 by 3. So the equation will be like 3y equals 5 by 3x plus 7. We can also check our calculation if a is 5 by 3 by substituting x and y and see if the left hand side is equal to the right hand side or not. Yeah, y I substituted to be 4, 5 by 3, x will be substituting as 3 plus 7. That makes 12 on the left hand side, and here is 5 plus 7, that is 12. So our answer as a equals 5 by 3 is very correct. Now we move on with one more word problem, and I write down the question here. The taxi fare in a city is as follows. How? For the first kilometer, the fare is fixed. Okay, the first kilometer the fare is rupees 8, and for the subsequent distance it is rupees 5 per kilometer. Now it says it is asking us to take the distance covered to be x kilometer. We'll take the distance covered to be x kilometer and the total fare to be rupees y. And we have to frame a linear equation and draw its graph. That means the total fare, that is y, will actually be expressed in terms of the distance covered, that is x. Whatever be the distance covered, the charge for rupees 8 is fixed. So 8 is already there in the equation. The subsequent distance, which is 5 per kilometer. Now what is the subsequent distance if the total distance covered is x? Out of X, the first kilometer is already being paid for ₹8. So the total fare will be, this is the remaining distance which is covered after the first kilometer. This has to be multiplied by 5, and that would give us the total fare Y. Now let us write it properly. Y will be equal to 8 plus 5x minus 5. Y is equal to 5x plus 3. Now to draw the graph on this, we have to make a table, and after that you can plot the graph. If I am taking this as X, this as Y. So if the total fare is 2, then the cost will be 2, 5, 10 plus 3, 13. If the total distance covered is 3, so this I substitute with 3, it is 15, 16, 17, 18. If the total distance covered is 1, so he is going to pay only the fixed cost, that is 8. And I take one more. If it is 4, so it is 23. We can plot this on the graph. That is what the question wanted us to do. I think this will be more than enough for taking up questions. Thank you.